So he went and criminalized it.
Wow.
And then we went on until 2018, where there were multiple attempts throughout that 40 plus years in order to try to get it back on its equal footing. And people don't understand that it's been two things many times, and then it's been one thing. It's been two things relative called hemp, and then they called it marijuana. It was the other side of the coin. But what Nixon did is he made it a one-sided coin. He said all of cannabis sativa L is illegal, and people had to stop harvesting it. I mean, to think that hemp was a major product that the United States government asked Americans to grow in 1943. This was the lifting of the prohibition for 2 years. You know why?
Why?
We had no hemp rope for our battleships.
Ah, interesting. Interesting.
But the reason was because the Philippines, where my father was serving, was in a war with Japan, and that's where all of our hemp came. Up until December the 18th of 2018, all of our hemp in this country was imported.
Wow. And where was the major source of those crops coming in?
China, Europe, Australia. Every piece of thread has to have a component of hemp in it, because if you ever try to break most of the very thin, but very tough, thread. I mean, you could cut your hand almost. That's because it has hemp in it. But wow. All that, most of that every year came from Australia. But that's just one example. Okay, so we talk about how we're going to punctuate this, and I think it's in the medical relevance that we punctuate it and keep it as much medical as possible.
Absolutely.
And if you look at the title of that article, Fight Anxiety for Better Mental, Immune, and Physical Health. So that's what I wrote on today.
And that leads me into saying that, at this vital time that we are all facing, the information that we get is going to be in the most important aspect of that redevelopment of change of mentality and lifestyle and how we know it. So thank you, first of all, for continuing to pump out, the good information and the real information. We are faced with so many misleading and not, truthful, relevancy to some of the things we're doing, and having you, just keep it straight, Colonel, is really what we need to focus